Nissan's 370Z isn't only a proper sports car, it's a proper roadster too. Its combination of speed, style and sheer fun is almost impossible to beat for the money. In the eyes of many, proper sports convertibles are a dying breed these days, especially those that remain affordable. They've been ruined by weighty metal folding roofs and intrusive electronics. They've become accessible to anyone who can afford their inflated price tags, yet satisfy no one with a deep-seated petrol-through-the-veins passion for driving. They have, in essence, become soft in heart as well as in roof. Everything, in fact, that this car isn't. Nissan's 370Z Roadster. With Z-car heritage going back nearly half a century, the coupe version of this model is the definitive Japanese sports car. This Roadster, though, is definitive full stop. You simply can't get well over 300 brake horsepower, red-blooded sports car handling and a fabric roof anywhere else at the £30,000 price point. Unlike the 350Z Roadster that preceded it, this soft top was intended as an integral part of the 370Z design right from the start. So now it's as smart as it's sporty, an enticing prospect. Is this 3.7 litre 326 brake horsepower V6 one of the most glorious sounding engines in modern production? I reckon so. And one of the best bits about choosing your 370Z in roadster form is that you can hear it that bit better. This is a more serious, a more focused car than its 350Z Roadster predecessor. 45 kilograms lighter, 45% stiffer and 4 inches shorter. Roof down, there's decent protection from buffeting, allowing you to converse easily with your favoured passenger without raising your voice, unless they're being especially irritating, of course. But is it as much fun as a 370Z coupe around the twisty stuff? Oh yes. The 3.7 litre V6 puts out a muscular 366 Newton meters of torque, enough pulling power to see 60 dispatch from rest in just 5.5 seconds on the way to an artificially limited top speed of 155 miles an hour. Pretty much the same kind of pace you'd get in a Porsche Boxster S, in other words, for around £10,000 less. Like most serious drivers' cars, it's not at its best when you're pottering around town. But when you're in the right mood, on the right back road, on the right day, it's just brilliant. The stiffer chassis, the taut suspension and damping, plus the use of a proper limited slip differential at the rear, all contribute to handling this wonderfully sharp and flat. There's variable control braking that's not too sharp at low speeds but powerful at higher ones. And if you're feeling really brave, the standard traction control and VDC stability control systems can be completely disabled, so that with a bit of instruction you can get the tail out or even get the car drifting. Just fantastic. Whereas the drop-top roadster version of the original 350Z was developed very much as an afterthought, with predictably gawky roof-up results, the design of the 370Z was created very much with this roadster version in mind. Indeed, stylist Randy Rodriguez wasn't prepared to sign off the coupe version until he could be sure that it would morph gracefully into a convertible. And it does. The broad, curvy rear, perfectly balancing the longer, more steeply raked and now fully automated self-latching fabric roof that erects or folds in just 20 seconds. Otherwise, the detail on this car is just as gorgeous as on its coupe stablemate. From the arrow-shaped headlamps to the boomerang-shaped tail lamps, there's a handsome aggression that marks it out from its overtly style-conscious contemporaries. The front air intake borrows its look from Nissan's GTR supercar, giving this 370 greater malevolency as it looms in your mirrors, the twin aerodynamic fins rising like fangs from its lower lip. Inside the two-seater cabin, it's a big improvement on the plasticky feel of this car's predecessor. The dash, with its hooded dials and lashings of silver trim, is upholstered in a leather-like substance called Sofilex, which is more tasteful in both look and feel. The roof too is properly done this time, with high quality lined interior fabric replacing the previous utilitarian vinyl. And then there's the seats. For some reason a little different to those used in the coupe version, but since they're slightly more comfortable, I'm certainly not complaining. What I would like to see from a car of this price is a roof that you can operate at slow traffic jam speeds, you have to be stationary to use this one, and a steering column that's adjustable for reach as well as for rake. And more luggage space? Well, that's always good. This Nissan delivers 140 litres, which is so tight there needs to be a diagram here to show you how to stow a golf bag. Of course, it's well down on the 235 litres you get in the coupe version, but it's probably about as much as you can reasonably expect from a car of this kind, and if you pack carefully, it'll be enough for a weekend's luggage for two. List prices for this car start at just over the £30,000 mark, so you're looking at a premium of just over £2,000 over the equivalent coupe model. Now, to put that into perspective, if you were to buy a Mercedes SLK or a BMW Z4 with the same kind of power, you'd be looking at having to pay around £8,000 more, or £12,000 more if you're looking for a comparable Porsche Boxster. Though there's only the one 326 brake horsepower 3.7 litre petrol V6 on offer to 370Z Roadster customers, you do have the choice of either 6-speed manual transmission or a 7-speed semi-automatic transmission setup. All models come decently equipped with an intelligent key, for example, you can keep in your pocket when entering and starting the car. There's also scratch-proof paint, power adjustable seats, climate-controlled air conditioning, 18-inch alloy wheels with 19 inches as an option if you go for a plusher version, and automatic xenon headlamps. There are 6 airbags, anti-whiplash head restraints, a decent quality MP3 compatible stereo, and Bluetooth hands-free phone connection. The 370Z is a car that lives to be driven hard, but as you might expect, you'll need to pay for your pleasures. Your Nissan dealer might quote you a combined fuel consumption figure of 25.2 miles to the gallon, but if you regularly replicate that, then I'd suggest that you really shouldn't have bought this car in the first place. At the other extreme, if you're the type that likes to regularly go on track days and disable the electronic control systems, then you'll need to budget for this Nissan's appetite for rear tyres. You'd expect insurance to be commensurate with a car that can jet to 60 in just over 5 seconds on the way to a top speed of over 155 miles an hour. Sure enough, you'll be looking at Group 20. CO2 returns, you're looking at 262 grams per kilometre, although that does fall to 254 grams per kilometre if you go for the semi-automatic version. Residuals aren't too bad though. Expect to get half your purchase price back after 3 years and or 60,000 miles. This is the car the old 350Z Roadster always should have been. Lighter, stiffer, shorter, but most of all, gorgeous. Finding £30,000 to spend on an open-top sports car is no mean feat in these gloomy times, and you've a right to want to feel good about doing it. Yes, there are more polished Roadsters than this one, but they're not as much fun. There are faster ones, but they cost much more. Is it the ideal everyday or single car choice? No, it isn't, but then I'd be a bit suspicious of any proper sports Roadster that was. The reasons you buy a car of this kind are the reasons why this 370Z is so appealing. It might not be the money no object choice, but for the price being asked, there's not much that can better it.